All right, hello everyone, and welcome to session 4 of Unleash Back on Stage version 2. So nice to see so many familiar faces back here in the room again. In case you guys missed our first 3 sessions, we did a lot of deep dives into some really cool parts of the app. Session 1 covered all of our new booking enhancements around the booking creator and gig sheet, payouts, everything like that. Session 2, we talked about the whole customer journey from lead generation and lead form building through to client questionnaires and all of that good stuff. And just this morning, we went over team communication and things like that, from your team chat to all sorts of communication things we've built into your and insights into your members and all that good stuff. So if you missed any of that, the link to all the replays is in the chat on this call right now. So go ahead and click that. And one final announcement for our Black Friday sales offer, which is still running today. We are going to take that down tonight, but we wanted to leave it up for you stragglers in case you were thinking about any of those offers. We've got some really great discounts on plans, as well as some really cool perks to help you guys into your year 2025 and hopefully taking your businesses to the next level. So go check out some of those perks there as well. Awesome. So in this session, we are looking at the new repertoire section inside Back on Stage, and we're going to go through all the sort of 3 steps to building a set list, which involves sort of filling up your music library, building the set list, and then actually publishing and putting it out there. So we're going to go through all the different components of that starting right now. And feel free to post any questions in the chat as we're going through this. I try to keep an eye on that and answer questions as we're going along. But this won't be a super in-depth webinar because repertoire is fairly simple. So it probably won't last too long. So we'll have plenty of time for questions and stuff at the end of this. So if you feel like things are going too fast and you just didn't get to answer your question, do not panic. Stick around to the end and we'll have lots of time to answer questions. So first of all, here we are on the repertoire page. When you come into your Back on Stage company here, you are going to see repertoire over here on the left-hand side. And I've just opened up music library right there. You'll see we do have a few options: music library, set lists, and files. So we're going to look at all of those here today. The first thing you'll notice is our handy stats section up here. So we're keeping account of how many songs are in your library, the length of all that music, how many files you've got, storage used, and your set lists there. Just a little sidebar here on all of this. One of the greatest perks of Back on Stage right now is that all of our plans include unlimited storage in your repertoire library. That's pretty crazy. And we also allow you unlimited admins in your account and unlimited music directors. Music directors are members who do not have admin privileges in your company, but they have the added ability to be able to come into your repertoire library, modify songs, create set lists, and do that kind of stuff. So if you've got somebody in your band who helps out with building set lists like I do in my band, you can just assign them that privilege. We went over that in session number 3 in case you want to go back and watch that. But they'll be able to come in here and do all of the stuff we are going to look at today and save you some time on that end of things. So on that note, I just wanted to, of course, plug our own system here because it's great. But I was just looking around a little earlier because before Back on Stage and before the repertoire system here, my own band was using a combination of Dropbox and Google Sheets and whatever other documents and stuff we needed to get our set lists done. And of course, none of that stuff is free. I mean, Dropbox is kind of free, but you hit a limit pretty fast and then you're into paying. And I was like, geez, how much does Dropbox cost these days? So I pulled this up for us to take a really quick peek at. But I'm in Canada, so all these prices are in Canadian. But as you can see here, the way Dropbox is priced these days, they've got certain amounts of storage. Probably none of you would really come close to this if you're just storing stuff for set lists. But the really annoying thing is there's only one user. You know, if you want to have more than 3 users, each user is paying $25 a month just to access Dropbox. And again, Back on Stage, unlimited storage, unlimited users. It's all included in your plan. And our base plans start at just $40 per month when paid annually. So that is pretty darn affordable. And here's a Google Drive comparison. Similar to Dropbox, but again, you're paying $15 a month per user here. So pretty great. Anyway, obviously I'm biased and I love Back on Stage, but just wanted to share that. Moving right along. Okay, so first things first, when you come in here, like I said, the first thing you have to do is fill up your music library. So what do you have to build a set list with if you have no songs? Nothing. So first things first is you've got to get music into here. So let's take a look at the process of adding songs. So when you open up a song, here's all the information you can store about a song. Of course, the title, the key, the artist, tempo, length in seconds. This is used to help you calculate your set lengths. When you're building out your sets later, we can auto-calculate that for you if you're providing song lengths. And then vocalists. This is handy for you event band types out there who have multiple singers on your roster, for example. You can keep track of which singers in your band sing each song. That way you don't forget. And when you're actually building your set lists, you'll be able to go through and assign singers to particular songs for that specific set. And we'll look at how to do that in a little bit. Of course, we've got tags on here as well. This is a new feature with our update. So we didn't have tags on songs before, but now there are, so you can help sort of organize your songs into different groups. I've just created one for first dance songs, for example, to help me sort of keep track of that. But you could have songs on there. Maybe you tag them by genre or something, or maybe it's slow songs, fast songs, whatever you need to sort of help you build out your set lists or decide on what songs to add in the future or whatnot. And of course, you've got song notes in here. Fill that up with anything you need your band to know about that song. Coming down here, we've got PDFs you can attach. So for example, I'm opening up this My Girl sheet music in my computer here, and I can attach any PDFs I want in here, and those can be assigned to different roles in the band as well. So for example, this chart is for tenor sax, so I would assign that to my tenor sax role, and then that person would view that PDF when they are looking at the set list and be able to get the sheet music they need. Over here, I can upload MP3 files, great for sort of being able to learn the song, or if you have a specific version your band does, go ahead and upload those there. And then video links as well. You can pop a YouTube link in here, and we will embed the video right there on that song card so that all your musicians can play along with that if they would rather do that. So that's all the information we store around your songs. You can, of course, add them one by one, but if you are onboarding to the system and needing to do that a little more fast, you can import songs like this. Click on that. You can open up our import template. This opens in Google Sheets. We have some instructions here for you on the first page as to how to use this. But really the key thing that a lot of people miss is coming up here, go to File, go to Make a Copy. That will copy this into your Google Drive so you can modify it. Then you're going to come over here to our song import template, and you're going to drop your songs in here. The required fields are song title and artist. You can fill in key and anything else if you feel the urge to do so. And then all you're going to do is go File, Download, comma separated values, CSV, that option right there. That is going to grab a spreadsheet for you, which you are then going to come back on stage, attach file, drop that in there. And if you forget anything I just said, it's all right here. Awesome. So you can go ahead and do that. Drop those in. Those will come in nice and easily. Now, with a CSV import or a spreadsheet import, you cannot attach files to CSV files like MP3s and PDFs. Obviously, so how do you get those into the system? Well, you can do that right here, import files, PDFs and MP3s. So you open up that little box. What's going to happen here is you're going to attach files. And let's say I wanted to add all these PDFs for my Girl song that my band is learning. It's going to bring them all up into this window here. I can go back and I can attach any more files if I had them. You can put up to 100 files into this window at once, and then hit upload all. As soon as those upload, we're going to open this handy modal for you, allowing you to assign all of these files to their designated songs and assign them to roles as well. So again, the first step is putting all of your songs in here, because if there are no songs, there's nothing to attach all of these extra files to. So you want to do that first. But what I can do now is I can come in here and I can say, okay, all of these songs belong to My Girl. Here it is. And I can hit this little button here to very quickly copy all of that information down to all of those songs. And then I can come through here and very quickly assign all of those. I don't actually have an alto sax role in my band, so that one's not going to anybody. But I can go through and assign all of these to the various instruments in my band that they belong to. and everybody will be happy. Hit save, and we are good to go. I'm not going to save that now because I already have that chart uploaded in my library. So that is how to get songs into here and all of the files attached to them. So bang, just like that, we're done. Our music library is ready to go, and we can start building set lists. So before we do that, though, I do want to show you just a couple more fun features in here. So coming over to our files area here, this is where all the files that you have attached to songs live. So they're all here in one place. In case you misassigned things or you forgot to assign them when you uploaded them, it's easy to come over here and find things that have not been attached to songs or to roles or whatever, and then you can bulk edit them here. So for example, this My Girl song that I just uploaded, I could run a search for that. I'd search for that file name, My Girl, there it is. And then I could look through that and be like, oh no, I didn't assign these to roles. How can I do that? I'm going to just click that button right there. I'm going to come up here and edit selected. And once again, that's going to open up this handy modal for me to go through and assign all those charts as needed. Of course, you can delete from here as well. If you're just, maybe you uploaded the wrong stuff and you don't need it in there, you can get rid of stuff too. Similarly, on going back to our music library really quickly, we also have some really helpful bulk edit features here as well. So if you do a spreadsheet import, which of course, spreadsheet imports can save you a lot of time, but it's also really easy to screw up a spreadsheet and then you upload the whole thing and you realize, oh no, every song's in the wrong key. All right, that's kind of annoying to open up every song and fix that. So what you can actually do is go up here and go to, so I've just done a select all for everything that's in my window here. And you can of course expand this too if you want to include more songs. But so I've selected all 10 songs there, and I go to edit song details, and then I get a new handy modal pop up here where I can actually edit all of these song details in sort of a spreadsheet format here and save all that all in one go. So it makes it really easy for you to modify your songs. Could be really helpful for you adding tags, for example, if you want to start using tags in here and you haven't yet because we didn't have tags before. That could be a really helpful way for you to jump in there and do that. Okay, so let's see here. Next thing, all right, on the list is to build your actual set list. We've got all of that stuff in the library, and on we go to building set lists. So here we are. We have arrived on the set list page. I can see all the set lists I've built previously, and I'm just going to come up here to the top and hit build set list. First of all, it's going to ask me to give it a name. And I'm just going to call this Ruben's Wedding Set List and create. All right, so that's going to drop me into our set list builder, which is so new and nice. First of all, you will notice over here on the left-hand side is your entire song list. Nice and easy for you to grab songs. All you have to do is click on them to add them to the list. So let's go ahead and build a list here. I'm actually going to search for my favorite opening song. Oops, I got to spell it right. There it is, Treasure. So we're going to do that. Start, and then I'm going to add some other songs on here. Buttercup. And by the way, in case you're curious, these check marks you see in here are not part of our interface. They're just some housekeeping stuff my own band uses for remembering which songs we have all the sheet music and MP3s for. So you don't by any means need to use those. Okay, now as I'm doing this, you'll notice, first of all, at the top here, we have set one. This is a new feature we've created, our set dividers. So by default, you have set one that will show up at the top of your set when you're building a new set list. And right over here, you can see it's automatically calculating the number of songs and the minutes that this set list will equal to. So I can just keep adding songs. I'm aiming for a 50-minute set list here in this instance. So I always like to put an extra song on there just in case. So 53 minutes has me safe. All right, now this particular gig needs 2 sets. So I'm going to add another set divider that automatically becomes set 2. And I'm just going to keep on adding songs. Let's do a little medley there to start off. And We Are Family, I Wish, sure, all my favorites, sounding good. Keeping an eye on my time over here. We're up to 26 minutes, so I got to add a few more. Get this one up to 50 minutes as well. And what else do I need to add here? I like to do, Signed, Sealed, Delivered's a fun tune. And one more, what'll it be? Did I add that one yet? I wanted to show you guys an example of something down the road. That's there. Okay, perfect. All right. All right, that gets us to 55. We are in the clear and good to go. So my set list is almost done. I've got all my songs in order. Oops, I really decided I don't like Brick House anymore and I don't want to play that song. What can I do? Well, I could add it to the bottom of the list by clicking it there, and I could drag it into place, and I could delete this song, but that's a whole lot of effort. So I'm just going to click here instead, and I'm going to choose another song just like that. In fact, maybe not that one because that's already on the set list right there. Let's do that one. Maybe At Last isn't the best second song to begin with, but never mind. So that is how you can change songs really quickly on the fly. We also have these handy little eyeglasses here. If you can't remember if this is the right version, a lot of us have different versions of the same song in our library. So you can click on these little eyeglasses to bring up the inspector and show you everything to do with that specific song. And you can even make little edits on the fly right there if you need to as well. So that's super helpful. Of course, you can always drag and drop songs in here as well, should you need to reorder them that way. So lots of flexibility for you to build your set list with here. The last step is for me to go through and assign vocalists. If you do this as a band leader, that's great. You can do that. Otherwise, like I said before, if you want to make your vocalists do this themselves, you can just assign them that music director privilege inside their account, and they will be able to come in here and choose their own songs, assign themselves to things, and handle that discussion themselves. So I'm just going down the list, assigning all my singers. I'm just going to do this for our first set because I think you guys kind of get the idea, and I don't want to bore you with watching me click too many things. Okay. All right, there we go. So I'm just assigned a few of those. Now all I have to do is hit save and share. And just like that, it's going to boil this into a set list for me. Give it a sec to think. All right, perfect. So now it moves us onto this share screen. At this point, all we have to do is attach it to bookings to put it in front of our musicians. So when you go to attach to bookings here, all of the events that your company is doing are showing up here, along with the specific services that are on those bookings. So for example, right here, I've got Ruben's test booking. Copy, and that is my Phonics 9-piece band that is booking that, or that is playing on that. So I'm going to assign this set list to that. Now, when my musicians open up that event, they will see the set list right there on the schedule for them. And we can take a look at that in a sec too, I guess. But I will save that on there, and then we are good to go. All right, so what does this set list look like now that it's live and out there in the world? We can copy this link here. And I'm going to go and pop it into my browser and take a peek here. All right, there it is. So for those of you who saw our old set list, live set list and what those look like, obviously a huge improvement on the design side of things here. We've given you a lot of information. You can see the song title and the artist, as well as the tempo and the key there. Let's see what else is on this view. Up here at the top, actions. So from here, you can actually print. That just basically opens this window in your print screen. So there's no crazy formatting or anything up here, but it does allow you to pull that out into a sort of PDF format if you're using Chrome, or print it off if you need to do that. And then, of course, you've got the download all PDFs option. So in the event that you have attached PDFs to all of your songs, your musicians can download all of those. I know a lot of musicians still like using things like Fourscore on the gig, so you can all just drop everything into your apps that way. And sidebar on that is, like, you know, our app being a web-based app, there is nothing to download, and you do have to be online to access it. So that's sort of the one caveat of our set lists here, is that you do need an internet connection to be able to access them. So a lot of musicians do opt for the Fourscore, I think, still on the bandstand because of that reason. But we do have lots of formatting going on in here to make this scalable to any device size. If, for example, you do have a good internet connection and you just want to use it here, we are trying to make this friendly enough for you to use on the fly as well. Sorry, getting ahead of myself there. Lastly here, export to CSV. We knew when building this that we couldn't cater to everybody's unique set list needs. Some people have some pretty crazy things they need to see on their set lists when they are performing. So we did the best we could to include all the song information here. But if it's still not good enough for you, you can export that whole list to CSV and then modify that however you need to be able to, maybe the print format didn't look good enough to you, for example. So you can always just pop that into a spreadsheet format or somewhere else and make it look however you need to for your specific sets. All right, so now opening up a specific song, I just clicked on that treasure song at the top of the list, and this opens in a full screen modal that now allows us to basically interact with all the components of this song in a way that is very friendly. So I love using this mode when I'm learning stuff at home because I can pull up my sheet music right here. I can hit play on the MP3 right there, and I can just play along with the song and do my homework that way. Of course, you've got your PDF selector up here. If you have multiple PDFs on a song, I can switch between them there. Note that if you have assigned your PDFs to specific roles, then those roles will only have access to those PDFs. So for example, if I was logged in here as the trumpet player today, I would only see this trumpet PDF because that would be the only one assigned to me. But I'm here in my admin account, so I can access everything there. So as you can see, we've got your tempo and your key up there in the corner. We've got notes over here for you to expand. I've got a little note on this song telling my band how we like to perform this recording. And of course, if you have multiple MP3s attached there, people can toggle between them that way as well. We've also, of course, got the option for you to download that individual PDF right there. Note that this, unfortunately, on mobile scales down and the download option disappears, but just bear that in mind. If you do need to download PDFs, do that from your desktop, or alternatively, you can go into your music library and find the song cards there. These things, anybody can access this information from within your music library, so they can actually come here and download the PDFs there as well. Oof, those are some long file names. They just hit those download buttons from there. Cool. So that is the full screen view of your songs. Super helpful. Of course, we've got these handy next and previous buttons to just help you jump down your set list as you're moving through stuff if you were using that in a live setting. And just so you can have a sense of what this might look like live here, I'm going to scale my browser down to look like it would on a iPad, for example, because that's what most of us are using on the gigs these days. Let's take a, what do I want? iPad Pro, sure. I need to refresh this here. Okay, it's going to look a little small for you guys, I know, but you can see it still scales and looks nice. If I open up a song, it fills up that whole window really nicely, and I'm able to do everything I was able to do on the desktop on my mobile device there. So super helpful. Awesome. So that is the set list here. I don't know if there's anything else I really needed to say about that. Oh, one more thing. Dark mode. This is pretty handy. So this is in our system now overall, not just here in the set lists, but really helpful for if you are on a gig and you don't want your iPad just totally lighting up your face all night. Switch over to dark mode and all the same stuff still applies there. So one little handy quality of life improvement there for you guys. Awesome. Okay, so that was a lot of talking, and as you can tell, not a whole ton of stuff needs to be covered in here today, so we banged this off in about 25 minutes. Hooray. But there's a lot of stuff, as you can see there in the new repertoire section. So there's a lot more control you have over things, but it is way faster to build set lists now and get those out to your team. And hopefully your guys are finding their way around the new set lists all right. I will just very quickly actually jump into that booking. I'm going to see if I can find that one. I think it was here. I'm going to try to find that set list where I put it on a gig. Let me just take a look really quick here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find that gig that I actually attached this one to, but let me just go see if I can throw it into a gig so you guys can actually see what the musicians are going to be looking for and finding when they are looking to open up their set lists. So I'm just going to toggle over here to that, and apologies for the delay. I don't think it liked what I just did there. Okay, we're going to just wait for that to load. While we wait for that to load, I'm going to come over here and look at our questions. So got a few questions coming up here in the chat. Let's see what people are talking about. All right, Ricardo, MP3 doesn't work for me. Okay, apologies for that. Feel free to reach out to us in our chat, which is right down here in the app. We will be happy to take a look at that for you. There may be something going on in your account. Happy to work that out. John, if I load a track, will the time be calculated from the track? No, it will not. You have to calculate that yourself, unfortunately. Reason being, you could upload any number of MP3s or anything like that, so we wouldn't actually know which one to look at. But no, you need to figure that out on your own. Are there options of columns to show on the set list, for example, vocalist? Yeah, so basically all that information gets shown by default. Let me just go back. Oops, now I'm in dark mode. Let me get out of dark mode. I actually prefer light mode myself. I just like light. I'm just a bright kind of guy, I guess. Now I gotta get all the way back into there. Okay, while I'm navigating back into there, essentially earlier you saw me assigning vocalists while I was on that set list, and I think actually there might be a little bug there because I didn't see them showing up on my set list just now. Oops, wrong place. So they might there might have been a little glitch there, but they should show up on the actual set list right here beside all of the song titles. So let me see if I can just get in there and make that work, but we'll see about that in a moment. Edit. Okay, next question here. Like same question as John. Okay, how do the vocalists know what we're singing? Okay, yeah. All right, let's see if we can make this work. Okay, so I did go through here and assign all of the vocalists. So what I'm seeing here is for some reason today, we just made some updates to this Setlist Builder last night, and I fear that that might have just broken. So the vocalist settings that I did set here did save, but I don't see them appearing on my actual set list. So we will get our devs onto that tonight, but I don't think I have a setlist version here. I can even show you with that. I'll refresh this and see. Nope, it's not coming up today. So normally there would be a little badge right here. It's a little green badge that has a little microphone symbol beside it, and it would say the vocalist's name in it. And if they hover over that with their mouse, it'll tell them, this is the vocalist that's assigned to this song. So it's pretty clear to them who does what. But I think for most vocalists, if they look at a set list and they see their own name beside a song, it's pretty clear what that means. So that's all there is to it, really. So it's just that assign feature right here when you're building the set list. Just click on there, choose the vocalist that's going to be singing it, and that's all there is to it. Okay, so let's see. Athena's question: can you save it without sharing it? Yes. Oh, sorry, Athena, I missed your question there. So yes, as soon as you save a set list, it's not actually shared anywhere. It gets its own unique link like this, but it's this is a secure link. Nobody can access that unless they're actually a member of your company and they know that exact link. So it doesn't just magically explode onto the internet for you. You actually have to physically share this. So you can copy that and send it to your other admins, or in order to put it in front of your musicians, you actually have to go to this step of attaching it to a booking like I did here and putting it in there. So so short answer to your question is yes, you can definitely save it without sharing it. All right, that is the end of our questions. Are there any more questions? I'll give you guys another 10 or 20 or 30 seconds to think and get your questions into there. They can be setlist related or, quite frankly, any part of the app related, because we banged this one off pretty fast. So I'm happy to stick around here today and answer a few more questions for you if you guys have them. All right, Mike, can client view setlist in Portal? Unfortunately, no. Setlists are secured for many reasons, but clients don't have member access to your company. So in short, no, they can't. I mean, technically, I guess you could add a client as a member of your company if you really wanted to, and then they could see a set list. That's probably a little excessive, but yeah, I guess what I'd recommend is probably just saving a screenshot of your whole set list. Like if you were I'm assuming you're asking because you want the client to be able to choose songs for the set list. Is that right? Maybe fill me in on that. Yeah, if that is the case, what I would recommend is actually, well, maybe checking out our session number 2 from yesterday, where we talked about client questionnaires, because I went into sort of my philosophy on how to survey clients on their sort of do not play and must play lists, and how to build those into your client questionnaires. They're not directly connected to the repertoire module here and Back on Stage, but it sort of, after years of asking clients to select songs from our set list, what I've discovered at the end of all that is that most clients don't actually want to do that. I mean, I got married last year myself, and I hired my own band, and of course built the set list for them, but we had to have a DJ at the end of the night, and he sent us this music profile thing to fill out, and I never filled it out. I was like, dude, I just don't have time. I trust you. You're the professional. You do your job. I don't need to fill all that out. So, oftentimes I find, like, maybe you get a type A client who really wants to be super choosy and pick everything, but quite honestly, I know my band's repertoire better than anybody else does. I know what songs sound the best when we perform them, and I want my band's best foot forward when we're performing. So I would much rather build that set list than anybody else would. So I try not to give people too much access to the information here, but if they're really set on stuff, I would just send them a full list of all of our songs that we're actually actively playing right now, and then ask them to pick a few of their top ones and then we'll make sure those kind of get onto the list. So if that was the case you were wanting to do, and just sort of be able to send a PDF list of all the songs or something like that, one handy thing I could recommend is you could create sort of a master set list that's got every single song that you are actively performing on it. So it would come up on this page as just like one really, really long list. And then what you could do is, I love this little browser extension up here. This is a Chrome extension. It's called Go Full Page, all one word like that. It will scan down your entire page and save a image file of the entire website, no matter what height it is. So that could be a helpful way for you to sort of send that to your client all in one go, and make that process a little easier for you, maybe. So that is a Go Full Page Chrome extension. Hopefully that helps. Okay, and then John, since internet access is often not a thing, what do you do? PDFs? Yes, I definitely do PDFs myself. To be honest, I use the Back on Stage performance mode here at home when I'm practicing, because I love this new full screen mode that lets me see everything at once and play the MP3 and just do my homework really quickly. But I will go actually up to here and download all those PDFs and pop them into my iPad, into Fourscore. It's the app I'm usually using on the gig, because yeah, I can just rely on that without having an internet connection. And yeah, also, I don't know what else I could say about Fourscore. I guess it's, if you're making changes on the fly, it's probably a little easier to work with. Maybe, I actually don't know. Now that I'm saying that, I'm thinking, well, my band always reorganizes stuff kind of in our set breaks. We'll sort of see how the crowd was in the first set. We'll see how the vocalists are feeling. Maybe we need to juggle stuff around in set 2 and 3. So we're always kind of just sending out a text message to everybody to be like, swap this song with that song and take out this song and put this one in. And we could probably do that actually a little easier and Back on Stage now, with just the ease of use for our Setlist Builder. Now we've even made it a lot more mobile friendly. So probably in theory, we could just sort of make those edits on the fly a little better, and not have to be frantically texting each other in our set breaks. But yeah, this is so new and fresh that my band hasn't even had the opportunity to think about using it on a gig yet. So who knows? Maybe we will be doing that soon. Okay, if we were online, yeah, is it a real-time update to setlist? Yes. So basically, they would just have to hit the refresh button. So as soon as you come in here and you make a change in here and you hit the save button, that's live right away. So all they would have to do is hit the refresh, and then they would get that update. So yes. Awesome. Okay, great questions, guys. I love discussing this stuff. I feel so nerdy and cool, and I hope you do too. Awesome. Okay. I don't see any more questions coming up. If you have a question or you want to chat, you can hit the raise hand or you can put a chat blopper in there. Once again, I will say, go check out the Black Friday offer, please. It's really cool. We're giving away a whole set list worth, or not a whole set list, a whole set worth of music. 1 hour of charts, fully charted, written out for your band to integrate a brand new set of music for 2025. Should you want that, all the best dance floor bangers and hits for weddings and corporate parties, plus a bunch of other really cool little perks in there. And of course, really big discounts on our pricing plans that get you into our Leader Elite plan so you can unlock all of our newest cool features. So do check that out. Awesome. Okay, I don't see any more questions coming up. So thank you all so much for being here today. It's always a joy connecting with you guys and sharing what we've built here back on stage. And we're so happy to have you guys here on the journey with us. So thanks for being here. And thanks for putting up for the bugs this week. We know they are plentiful in here right now, but we are squashing them as fast as we humanly can. And hopefully you guys are well on your way with things here soon. So with that, happy gigging. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and happy holidays. Bye for now.